I buy faulty electronic items on eBay, attempt to fix them, and then sell them for a profit. We're coming off the back of an 8-win streak. 8 times in a row we have ended positive, bringing our total profit to £454.48. Edging that step closer to 10 wins in a row, can we make it 9 today? Welcome your lovely faces back to episode number 82 of the series Profit or Loss, where the gloves just keep getting dirtier. I paid a grand total of £150 for this faulty PS5 with no hesitation. It also came with a controller. So £150 for a faulty PS5 with a controller is a deal for me and the power lead. The eBay listing where I got this from states that it comes with a controller. The console has an unknown fault but won't power on at all. Looks like we're dealing with just a straight no power, and according to the pictures on eBay, there's nothing indicating whether the warranty sticker has been taken off or not. But again, when I see something like this for £150, I'm buying it before I actually try and apply power to this, just to make sure it doesn't work. I do want to see if the warranty sticker has been broken. What do you think? Can we get lucky 2 episodes in a row? I'm not sure. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, no warranty sticker. Okay, so the warranty has been breached on this, meaning the main thing is that somebody has tried to fix this. Let's give it some power and see exactly what happens. Not going to plug in a HDMI yet. I don't think there's necessarily any need. 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Dead. Okay, we like these ones. Is it going to end up just being a power supply? I didn't get any crackle when I plugged that cord in. Whilst being a power supply is a good situation because it's a nice easy fix, it also sucks in the name of content. But I won't complain to hit another win in this series. It looks like as well, they knew what they were doing. They've put all the screws back in the correct places so far anyway. And believe it or not, what I actually like about this is that they cleanly took off the warranty sticker. If I haven't mentioned it already, apologies. This is a digital version, so we don't have a disk drive. Do we have an SSD? Is this going to be the day? No. Okay, what do we have on the first surface? Can't see any major signs of issues. A couple of wires not put back into the exact places they should be, but again, doesn't look awful. UART definitely hasn't been used here, and UART is a diagnostic tool to see what's wrong with the PlayStation, so that's not being used, which is also what we like to see. So we just take this out. That feels rather sticky, this one. This one isn't. Obviously, we can see that it's come up, but this one also feels really sticky, so I don't know if they have been taken off, you know. It feels like they haven't. So somebody might have actually come down to this sort of board level and gone, oh, I'm not gonna have a look at this, you know. I'm gonna leave it to someone else. It's very possible. Or I could be utterly wrong like I have been in the past several hundred times. Okay, popping this off. Alright, nothing jumping out at me. Not any signs of flux straight off the bat from what I can tell, which is always nice. We're gonna check for our voltages. Our 12 volts being the first thing up. Black probe is on ground. Do we have 12 volts coming in? Is our power supply good? It is. We've got our 12 volts. Okay, interesting. What about our 5? Do we have our 5? We do. Do we have our 3.3? We do. So we've got 3.3. We've got 5. We've got our 12. Should be enough to power our console on. At least get something like a blue light or something, you know? Oh, I just had a beep. Wait, is the console on? Wait, if I go here, it should say 2 volts. No, it's not on. Okay. But it beeped. It didn't do that the first time round. Wait a minute. Is that even plugged in? The ribbon cable for this isn't even plugged in. The ribbon cable for the light. Okay. Wait a minute then. Wait. So maybe we do just have like a blue light issue here. Unfortunately then, it's not going to be as simple as a no power. There we go. Right, that's now in. And one is going to assume here we get a blue light of death instead of completely no power now that we actually have lights. And I do just want to say that cable's been completely bent. This one down here, wait there. Look, I don't know if you can see, but people who work on the PS5s regularly, like that has been pushed down, this cable here. And it should be going up rather than down. Let me just try and take it out. Oh, it's not even plugged in. What's going on? Looking at this as well, it wouldn't even work. Can you see how the pins are bent there? So this wouldn't have... that's the ribbon connector for the front panel here where you have USB-C and USB-A. So that's going to need to get swapped, but we don't need that for testing. Okay, so let's see if we get a blue light. Makes you think, doesn't it? Did the seller do this to say, is it just going to be a straight no power instead of it a blue light? 3, 2, 1. Now we get nothing. There we go. Okay. So we get a beep, but we get nothing here. I think UART is going to really help us out in this situation because we get the one random beep every now and again. So I'm going to hook UART up and see what error codes we get. So I've just cleared all the error logs and I've got 4 codes straight off the bat and then nothing logged after that. So the first one we get is this one, which is a 0002, known unknown, potentially SSD controller. Then we've got this code, which is post secure loader error, check fuse F7001, no beep, no light. But we definitely do get a beep. Then it goes back to the SSD controller error. And then again, back to the check fuse. So unfortunately, it's not a nice and simple, oh, your problem is with this. Therefore, I need to take this out of the chassis and do a little bit of troubleshooting. But we do not mind that. With that being said, board out the chassis, let's go over to the microscope. All right, we've got our meter in continuity mode, and we're going to go straight over to F7001, where it said to check. And let's see, do we have a short? Did the fuse do its job? No short there. This side? Yes. Okay, so we have a short this side, essentially meaning that it's protected the 5-volt rail, which is this side of the board. So 5 volts should also be here, and that's why we get 5 volts when we were testing the standby voltages, is because this rail, essentially the main 5 volt originally, is okay, and then something's happened here. So I wonder, because if you remember from my last video, a lot of these fuses are 5-volt fuses. So I wonder if we have the same sort of situation and story with these. So is this side okay and this side isn't? No, that fuse is fine. Okay, what about F7502? Let's check this one. Is that okay? That's okay this side, and okay that side. I wonder then, is this something like the HDMI IC? See if we've got any shorts here. No, that seems to be okay, doesn't it? See if we can isolate this in any way, shape or form. No, that all seems to be reading okay. What about even here? What's weird actually is that we get open line here. I'm not sure, because that's ground, and I'm sure this is meant to have an actual reading. I don't think it's meant to be open line unless it's really high ohms. 2 seconds. Let's go into diode mode. Double check here. 0.3. Okay, that's fine here. But ignore the beep. Just from history and experience, I'm just going to probe around a few places. Starting up here, just see if we get any shorts around this chip. Rather than injecting heat straight off the bat. Let's see if anything lights up or gives us a short to ground. Down here is the usual suspect as well, F7502, around this IC. Hold on a second, here we go, okay. So this is a short to ground. This side, meant to be ground. This side, not meant to be ground. So we can just inject here and see what our problem is. I think that's going to be the play. Is it going to be one of those caps? If I turn the board over, the exact same side, it actually goes to these vias. Where's my thumb? Right here. So it could also be something around, oh, what's that? Has that chip just got really, really hot? Can you see here? There's like some gunk. Oh, what's that? What is that? Don't know. So is it one of these caps? Is this line shorted? No, it's not. Is this line shorted? No, it's not. Okay, so this chip here is fine as well. Oh, here we go. Look, so we have this cap is shorted also. So it could be this IC or it could be this little cap here. Now, I'm usually a big fan of voltage injection, right? To kind of show us what's what and see what component is causing us a short. But I am also really tempted just to remove these 3 caps because there's only 3 of them on this line. 4 technically, or is that a little resistor there? I think that might even be a resistor. Chances are it's going to be one of these caps, so I might just quickly remove them rather than getting the thermal camera out, loading up the software, all of those things, you know. It might just be a little bit quicker here to remove these caps and test to see if our short is gone. What a find this will be if that is the case. Is it usually ever as easy as that? No. I think the last PS5 I done was relatively the same though. So we might have just got lucky. I mean, £150 as well would be really, really good. Just move that over. That looks a little bit iffy, doesn't it? There we go. It might not be this, and the reason it's so good to do voltage injection, and the reason why I should do voltage injection here, is because this short could be coming from this IC, and that IC goes to somewhere else on the board, and therefore it's another cap anywhere on the board that could be getting hot, or chip, for example. So it might not be these 3 caps I'm looking at now. However, is our short gone? No way. Ground, and this is our short gone. It's this cap, the first cap we removed. You having me on? Yeah, look. So if I measure here to here, this cap was short. I don't believe it. And unfortunately, these are the 0805, I want to say. So I don't have these caps in any of my little capacitor books, unfortunately. So so I'm just going to have to replace that from another one on another board. And the ones that I'll be using exactly the same place, just here. I'm quite happy that we managed to just say it was going to be this one, you know. These are the jobs that techs dream of when it comes into their shops. And the fact is as well, don't forget, this PS5 had actually been opened before. So I'm just going to take my replacement cap here. Drop it on the pad, just there. These pads do look a little bit bare, so what I am going to do is just apply a tiny bit of solder, just here and here. It's going to look really messy right now, right? Wait for it. On this side as well, just put it on the cap. And I'm going to do that because what's going to happen now, I'm going to apply some flux and just reflow that. And the solder will go onto the pad, mix with the unleaded, and make a really, really nice secure bond, because it looks really messy now. Just wave it about. So 480 degrees Celsius, by the way. This is a 40% airflow, and these caps will just move into place. There we go. Pop. There we go. Nice. A little bit of a clean in between those caps because we've got some flux there. Just like that. There we go. Essentially, as good as new. Look at that. Was it as simple as that? Let's see if our short's gone. Our short has gone here. Perfect on that rail. This fuse is going to be blown. Okay, so if I measure in continuity mode, we don't have a continuous path. So I'm not too sure if the console would work at this point. I'm going to go ahead and say it wouldn't, because the path here isn't being carried over to here, or vice versa. The 5 volt here isn't being carried over to here. So we do need to replace this quickly. But what I will say is this fuse done its job. The short that we had was causing issues on this path. And instead of going through and completely wrecking our 5 volt up here, it went, no, you shall not pass, as Gandalf would say, and self-destructed. Thank you for your service, fuse. And replace with this one. Tiny bit of flux. There we go. Sat in place. Give this a quick clean, like nothing ever happened. Take our multimeter and just make sure we get a continuous path through now. We do. Lovely jubbly. There we go. So that has also been fixed. I'm actually wondering here if I can just sort these little pins out and put this back, because they're not ripped. They just need straightening. Might be okay. As long as they're flat to the cable, which they do look it, don't they? I need to bend that back a little bit. It should be okay. Fun fact, I've never actually had to take one of these boards off. It's always been the power switch board down here. And then I'm just assuming this pulls away. Does it pull away? It's like metal sheath. Yeah, it does. And it just clips in. Just like that. Yeah, nice. Okay. We'll have to give this a test as well if we manage to actually get the PS5 working, that is. Learn something new every day. There we go, that's back in. Right, all we have to do now then is get this back together a little bit and give it a test. Wish me luck, because this could be 9 out of 10. Now, I've put a couple of the little screws back, but I'm ready to test. This cable's been sorted and rerouted a lot better, as well as these cables here. I think everything's plugged in and ready to go. So, remember the truth. 9 wins in a row, please. And bearing in mind, I need to know if everything else is okay with the console as well. This is just the first step. 3, 2, 1. Yes, blue light, come on. Take us to a white light, please. And, of course, hopefully, we get a display. It stayed on, so it's not turned off, which is wicked. There's the white light. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to try and switch the scene yet, because it's more than likely going to say that it's overheated and beep 3 times and then restart before I actually get an image. So what I'll do is, if it does display, I'll disable HDCP, and then we can test the functionality of those front USBs as well to see if they work. But it's promising that it actually turns on. And the game that broke this console was Sims 4. I've paired a controller using the front USBs. Both the USB-A and the USB-C seem to charge the controller, so I'm going to assume both of them are fine. And the PS4 is working exactly as it should. I did just play a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3. Another console saved from the graveyard, circulating it back into the world of gamers for hopefully at least another 5 years of life, if possible. Don't know where I pulled that number from. And of course, leaving us with a nice, juicy profit. Let's head on over to Sally's spectacular spreadsheet to calculate our profit for today's video. Sally, oh Sally, oh Sally. Total cost was £150. We took the capacitor and the fuse from a donor board, so no cost incurred there. Sale price, now this is again a little bit sad. I recently sold a digital PS5 for £210 plus postage, so I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with £210. I'm not going to include the controller as part of the sale. I found from my experience selling on eBay that consoles that go on their own actually sell a little bit better than those that have controllers and cables, etc. I don't know if that's because people are just wanting to replace a singular console rather than the bits around it as like a replacement. So I'm not going to put the controller in with this. Sale price, like I said, 210, gives us a profit of £41.10 in today's episode. Adding that to the total, £41.10, gives us an overall profit of this series of £495.58. As far as fixes go for me on PlayStation 5s, they're probably the simplest and the best money makers. I feel like I've been really lucky to get on the streak that I have been, 9 wins out of 9. The next episode is going to be the big 10 out of 10. I feel it. We have to beat 10. If I don't reach 10 in a row the next episode, I might cry because now I'm so close I can taste it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to start this playlist from the beginning, I'll leave it just up here. If you enjoyed it, hit it with a thumbs up. And if you're new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Have a great rest of your day/week/weekend. And I will see you, as always, in the next one. Peace.